The next day, the pot was on lockdown because somebody wanted to have a fight during breakfast. Like, who would want to fight during breakfast? Frank and I just sat in the cell and told each other stories about our past. We made plans about things we would do once we had gotten out of jail. He knew he was innocent. He had plans like, yeah, I'ma just go back to school and probably walk my dog and mainly just stuff my face with cupcakes. He was truly a child.
Like stuff my face.
Man, I knew that he had a lot more growing up to do.
Yeah, but we ain't gonna do
Maybe someday I could start a family like you, he told me. I could see in his face he was sure about the things he was saying. It's like he knew he was gonna go home one day. But I knew he still needed some work to do. So did I. My preliminary court day was here. They came in. Mr. Johnson, court. Shackled from head to toe, I was transported to the courthouse. While awaiting the hearing, I was placed in another holding tank with about 20 other inmates waiting for court. Everybody was nervous. Nobody knew what to expect. Then it was a young man that emerged from the crowd, came and sat right next to me. He said, "Hey, old school, do you know what they would give a person for manslaughter?" I told him, "I don't know." Nervously, he looked around, and then he started to go into a horrible story about an accident that occurred while he was playing with a gun. His story was, my God, I couldn't imagine this. He said that one day he had purchased a 9mm handgun from a friend. He went home, started to show his children's mother the firearm. She told him, "Get that away from me, put that up." But he kept playing with it. He just kept playing with it. He was so excited to have it. He had been waiting for it for a while. So that day, he wanted to show off his new gun. Suddenly, the gun went off. The bullet went right through his hand. The impact from the bullet made his arm jerk. Man, he looked down and saw the hole through his hand. Unbelievably, the bullet had shot upwards. After the bullet went through his hand, it went through the young mother's head, killing her instantly. He was charged with manslaughter for negligence. He was only 19. She was 19 as well. Wow. It's like when I heard this story, I couldn't even talk anymore. But I knew I was surrounded by bad people. What people perceive to be bad people. A lot of people in here just made bad mistakes. They're not bad people. Then the warden tank opened the door. I was called out. "Mr. Johnson, your attorney wants you to come see him." Before the hearing, I was told what to expect. She said that all of my witnesses had showed up. I knew I had 27 witnesses against me, and they all showed up. Every last one of them. Nobody had a sick day, a court day, a blowout, or nothing. Every witness was accounted for. Some were afraid to come inside the courtroom. They started to cry. They made me look like the devil incarnated. "Oh my God, I just can't be in the same courtroom with him." That made me feel like I was a monster. At this time, the prosecutor had a new play against.
That's cool.
What now?
Yeah, but we ain't gonna.
I give you 15 years. What's 15 years? That's not good enough. I waived the hearing. I waived it and went back.
Yeah.
Since I waived the hearing, none of the witnesses had to testify. That was a big relief for them. Thank God. Back to David L. Moss. Frank was about to go to court. I told him what happened to me. I waved, and then he waved as he left and went in.
I don't know what's going on.
I went in my bunk and just laid down, started thinking about my daughters,
Last thing I know,
my son, and I just started writing music in my head.